Kia ora everybody, I hope you've had a good weekend and I hope you're ready to write an English essay for me this week. So it's Monday and you've got till Thursday at 6 p.m. to write this essay and it's going to be written on Google Classroom, and because I want you to be able to build on it, so you're going to start by finishing some planning for me today at least. You can write more than that, and then you'll have a freer week because there's not going to be an awful lot more tasks. I'm just going to give you a little bit more help and information each day to help you with the essay writing. So, but today you are needing to finish some planning and the information about how that planning should be set out. What I'm expecting of you is on Google Classroom. So once you get there and find your document, you will know what you're supposed to be doing for that. There is lots of material that I'm going to provide for you, and we're going to look at some of that today. So, first thing we want to do, however, is to look at the answers to the final worksheet of last week, which was the finale. I'm going to try my best not to cut my face off this time today. So let's have a quick look. What is the defiant and courageous line that Truman shouts? He says, "You're going to have to kill me." What does this vignette shot highlight about the character of Christoph? I mean, I could have chosen lots of different shots from this scene, but just this shot here showing what the viewer is being shown. And there's Truman having been dunked underneath the water for quite some time, and his lifeless arm hanging down at the bow there. It shows us that as well as the psychological and emotional harm that we've seen Christoph doing to Truman throughout the film, he's also prepared to risk harming Truman physically, even to the extent of killing him. He didn't want to kill him, but he was prepared to risk it, and we know that that was a risk because other members of the production crew were getting really upset and nervous and refusing to make the storm go higher. And the reason why he's prepared to do that is because ultimately he wants to get Truman to do what Christoph, wants. And that's the extent to which he's prepared to go. It's pretty brutal. This shot here, what is it that the entire production crew of The Truman Show are watching? They are watching Truman pick himself up after being half drowned and immediately start re-rigging the boat. He can barely move because he's just about been drowned, and he doesn't pause and stop and think about it. He just keeps himself going, clawing his way to the ropes which are going to pull that sail back up again. And he does that. He pulls the sails back up again. And why is this? Why are they reacting? Why are they all standing up and watching in kind of amazement? Because having watched Truman all their lives, he is surprising them. They're amazed by his perseverance and his courage in the face of this huge challenge for him. And yeah, he's doing an amazing thing. What's that doing there? I don't want that there. Now, this shot here, it's nearly the very next shot from this one just before. What kind of shot is it? It's an extreme long shot, establishing shot, and it effectively expresses the fact that Truman is literally on his way out of the show. He has his boat back under control, and the storm is over, and he is sailing away from them fast. What kind of shot is this? And what visual stereotype does it present? Well, it's a low angle mid shot. Now you might think that that's not particularly low angle, but it's enough low angle to be effective because it makes Truman look quite strong and slightly up at the stern there of the boat. The fact that it's a mid shot is important as well because it shows him with his hands firmly on the wheel, just one hand. He's so in control that he only got one hand on the wheel. We can see that his body looks strong and relaxed. We can see enough of his facial expression to see that he is looking content and confident. He's got the sun on his face. This shot could also be called a visual metaphor in that he's both literally and figuratively the captain of his own ship. So he is obviously the captain of his ship, literally. But the reason why it could be thought of as a metaphor is that for the first time in his life, he is captain of his own ship, which means he's in control of his life. That's a phrase we use to say in control of your life and your own destiny. This is a long shot. You can read the rest of these for yourself probably. I just wanted to talk about a few things. Clever use of soundtrack. I hope you picked up that aspect, the fact that suddenly, as soon as the bowsprit, which is the long pokey thing that's at the front of a boat, goes through the wall, the sound stops, completely changes, and then we have a completely different soundtrack. And actually, I haven't spoken very much about soundtrack. I think if we'd been in the classroom, I would have had more time to do that. But the soundtrack is brilliant in this film. It does so many things. It provides us with drama. It as with this particular occasion, it makes it a particular moment stand out, and it helps create an awful lot of feelings and emotions in us, the viewers, as we watch the film. I think that's fairly straightforward, this one. Now, this is really interesting. Look at number 11. I do want you to mark these on your own to make sure that you've got the ideas correct. As Christoph waits for Truman's response, what does he say? So remember that very interesting thing that Truman stands with his back to us for some time. And I was going to ask a question as to why you think he does that, and I'm just going to tell you. It's a clever use of suspense, because it's suspense for Christoph too. What is his decision at this momentous time going to be? And he turns his face, but he doesn't turn his face until Christoph asks him, "Well, say something, God damn it! You're on television. You're live to the whole world." He raises his voice and he comes up with this incredible comment, having been speaking to him quite gently and persuasively. "Truman, I care for you, I know you." And then suddenly he says, "Well, say something, goddammit." And the comment effectively exposes Christoph's true motives by showing us that he is more interested in the audience's experience than he is in Truman's experience. All along, every step of the way, he's been driven by the desire to make good TV. Thus, his feelings for Truman are not genuine. We see that very clearly at that moment. The man in the bath and everybody else is delighted to see Truman succeed, because there is the strong feeling in all of us that we want to have self-determination. We want to have freedom. The audience almost redeems itself slightly here, because, we've been talking about how the audience is complicit in making this show possible, and so therefore they are capturing Truman by watching it. But here they almost redeem themselves, because it shows that they, unlike Christoph, do truly love him, care for him, want the best for Truman. And the following saying comes to mind: if you love something, set it free. However, the very final shot of the film, what do they ask each other? They ask each other, it's a mid shot showing both characters there from the waist up. They ask each other, what else is on? So the final shot is an ironic reminder that despite their momentary happiness for Truman, yeah, he made it, is what they just say before, they're perfectly happy to move on, switch channels, consume some other entertainment on TV. And the director chose this little clip, this shot, and this bit of dialogue just to leave us with no doubt as to the immoral nature of just feeding off someone else's life for shallow entertainment, because it's totally shallow. They're not traumatized. The only person who's traumatized is Christoph, and probably other actors who lose their jobs, but they're not traumatized. They're shallow. They move right on. Right. So you now this sheet, which you will have access to on your GrammarNet page right there, and what it's doing is helping you choose some moments in which you will need to focus on in your body paragraphs in order to present your ideas as to how the director presents these two themes that you're going to be talking about. Now, I don't have time to say very much about this on this recording, but there are 5 different themes here, the ones that we've been talking about. I've included this one here. Hope for a better life is a stronger force than fear. There are other themes. This is not exhaustive. I don't mind if you have a different theme that you want to write about, as long as you can come up with the evidence and the points about it and the way and showing us how the director shows us the theme. We talked at the very beginning, if you remember, about some of those one-word themes like hope and fear and betrayal. I don't want one-word themes. We've expanded them out to actually have a lot more meaning. And your themes generally now always need to be they need to be statements about what the director is trying to get us to think about. So please feel free to use these columns showing you the different moments and the different techniques. For a couple of the scenes, I haven't done all 3. You really need 3 moments to focus on in your essay, 1 per body paragraph, each paragraph will deal with a certain theme, and you can do 2 on one theme or 2 on another. It's up to you. That doesn't matter. The main thing is that you cover all the themes, and you need to explain what these themes mean. So please choose something that resonates with you, and feel free to use my evidence. I haven't got time to talk this through, but much of it is stuff that we've worked on through looking at these worksheets. Okay. Finally, I do just want to talk quickly through these essay writing slides. I would do this all over much longer periods of time if I had you in my classroom, obviously. So these are the slides that have been up over the weekend, and that's your question. 5-paragraph structure for your essay, due next Thursday at 6 p.m. Okay, there's your essay question again. Here are some of the themes. I've added to here the desire for freedom triumphs over fear. And if you want to check with me whether a theme is a good thing to write about and it's not one of these 4, then feel free to email me. So this is what you're supposed to have done this weekend. You should have an idea what themes you're going to be writing about, and ideally a list of examples of how your theme is revealed. So that's what your planning for today is going to actually show me. There are slides here in the introduction. This is your preferred structure for an introduction, and there is an example introduction. Now, this is important because you're going to be getting on and doing this in the next few days. Take a look at this. This is your PCEA-EL format for body paragraphs, and there is a body paragraph there. And the following slide shows you where P is and where C is and where E is. So feel free to take a look at that. And some of you may well want to move on and do much more than just your planning today, because you will, as I said, be able to have much more of a relaxed week in English if you get on and do your essay quickly. Right. So good luck. Keep in touch with me, and I will probably do another screencast on Wednesday, just with some final reminders, and certainly after looking at the work that you start to do for me on Google Classroom. Okay, have a great day.